Good afternoon, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 22nd day of March in the year 2023. Sure hope you're enjoying your Wednesday, no matter where it is you are in the country. And I'm joining you live today with a terrible alert, I guess you would call it. And I'm going to try to explain this as best as I possibly can. This is a friend of ours who is 89 years old. She lives in North Jersey in Bergen County. And I think it was yesterday. If it wasn't yesterday, it was a couple of days ago. She got a phone call at home from a scammer. The scammer told her that in the course of things going down, that her grandson and his girlfriend were in a car crash. The girl who was pregnant was killed in the car crash, and that in order for her son to get out, she needed to come up with $3,000 cash for the bail. Now, what she did at that point in time then was she was listening to the guy, and the guy said, "We will send you an Uber, and you need to go to the bank, withdraw $3,000, and give us the $3,000." Well, wouldn't you know, when the Uber came, she got into the Uber and took the Uber to the bank, withdrew $3,000 in cash, and gave him the money for the bail, which was, of course, part of the scam because her grandson, unfathomably, was home at the time and his car was parked in the garage. I can only imagine that when you hear something about a scam, it's going to frighten you if you're 89 years of age. There's no doubt. And it's happened before, unfortunately, to our friend. But she believed it. She got in the car, even though his car was there and he was actually in the house. The panic must have been unbearable. It must have been unbearable. But when she got in the car and went over to the bank and withdrew the money, gave him the $3,000, the guy took off with the money. And there was, of course, no car crash. There was no girlfriend who was killed in the crash, and there was no baby who was killed in the crash as well. And one of the reasons it's important to bring attention to these scams when we do is because it's so easy to accomplish. This is a woman whose grandson was in the house at the time of this phone call that she got. And because she was so panicked, she didn't even realize that grandson's car was sitting in the driveway or in the garage at the time. And so she gets into this Uber and goes and gets the money out, 3,000 in cash, and gives it to the Uber driver. This is something that's never going to happen. This is never, ever, ever going to happen under any circumstances. If you get a phone call and it says that your son or your grandson was in a car crash, it's going to be a scam 99.9% of the time. So just keep this in mind, folks. Just keep this in mind. I'm not telling you anything you don't know already. But if somebody makes a call and you get it and it's like that, please don't answer it. If you answer the call and they say these crazy things, don't believe it. No, no one would ever ask you to withdraw $3,000 in cash and give it to an Uber driver. Think about that for a moment. And that's exactly what she did at 89 years of age. And I'm sure, again, I said it earlier, I'll say it one more time, the panic must have been unbearable. She mustn't have known what hit her, and she wanted to make sure that her grandson was safe or whatever, or bailed out, or however it was. But the truth of the matter is, when somebody needs bail, it's not going to come from the phone like that, and it's certainly not going to be go get the cash and give it to an Uber driver. This guy walked away with 3,000 in cash. She's never going to see that money again. Maybe there'll be cameras that caught it. You never know. But even then, it's going to be hard to find them. And a lot of these calls, don't forget, even though there are mules in the United States, this happens from countries way out of the area. This is going to happen. Like more than likely, I couldn't say for certain, and I don't have proof of it either way. This guy who made the phone call is probably somewhere in India. Somewhere in India. So I don't want to say exactly where it is because I want to protect her privacy, but it was in Bergen County. It was in Upper Bergen County. That's where it originated. So they also target communities where there is more wealth and where there are bigger homes and things like that. So they often do that. So you also have to keep that in mind that sometimes it doesn't happen in the big city as much as it does in the suburbs, where you're more likely to find victims who are willing to play along. And I'm going to say play along, but that's really what it is, and give up the cash. So that's this situation. And I can only say this. I mean, police have said it so many times. When somebody picks up the phone and says that your child or your grandchild has been in a car crash, call the police. Hang up and call the police right away. Dial 911. Get it confirmed, because most likely, especially if you hear an accent that doesn't sound familiar to yours. I'm not trying to be bigoted in making this remark, but the chances are that it's going to be a very foreign accent, something in Asia or somewhere in Europe where it is not an American. Okay, and when that happens, more than likely you are going to be the victim of the scam if you actually give up that money. So please think about that. Please think about it if you get the call. If you have elderly folks in your family or who are friends, neighbors, whatever it is, warn them. I'm not sure it will make a difference, though, because these things have been going on for years and they still happen on a daily basis. I mean, I think I've told you guys this before, and I apologize if it's repetitive, but every day when I get home at around 4 o'clock, I go onto YouTube, and for about an hour, I watch videos of Indian scammers who attempt to take away sometimes $40,000, $50,000 in a pop, and they make it sound believable. Fortunately, the people who are doing this are scam baiters, so they know enough not to give away their money, but they ask sometimes for access to your computer. They will say things like the Social Security Administration has put a warrant out for your arrest. They have a non bailable warrant that you have to answer unless you get a gift card. A gift card to pay to the IRS. Think about that for a minute. If somebody says to you, go get a gift card from Target and pay the IRS, it is an instant scam. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm getting a little worked up over this, but it's because I don't want to see this happen to anybody in our neck of the woods. So again, somebody, let them know about this. Let them know that it's happening on a daily basis, and there are no innocent people here. Everybody is suspect. I mean, this could happen to anybody. This could happen to any one of us. And my colleague Michelle, who is sitting right over here, could probably attest to this. But every day we get emails. Every single day. There's no exception to this rule, with emails that say your Norton or your McAfee subscription has expired and you have to renew it. And if you don't want to renew it, call us and you will cancel it for you. No company ever calls or emails a person and says, we're going to cancel your subscription and give you a refund. It just doesn't happen. So please don't be the next victim of scams. Please, please, please. I cannot say it enough. Don't let what happened to our friend happen to you again. It just isn't right. It isn't real, but it's so damn believable. It really is. Just remember, if somebody calls you and says that your grandkid has been in a crash or needs bail or needs you to get the IRS paid or whatever the multiple scams are, confirm it. If you have any doubt in your mind, and most of the time, if not all the time, just don't believe it. And certainly never, never give them your bank account details, a check, cash, or any kind of gift card. Because the truth of the matter is, if you do that, you will probably never see that money again. That's it for now. Hope we have better news next time we come on the air. And I hope that every one of you are enjoying your day today. It's such a gorgeous day, really 60 something degrees outside here in Kearney. And it's just a horrible, horrible situation that our friend went through. Don't go through it as well. From the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com, it's Kevin Canessa signing off for now. And I hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Have a good rest of your Wednesday, everybody. Take care.